The world needs more mentally strong people, now more than ever, because there seems to be an abundance of mentally weak people, and this is probably due to children being coddled as they're being raised by both their parents and society in general, where nowadays you have safe spaces and there's participation trophies, and basically society and parents just go out of their way to try to protect the youth. But doing this can prevent children from learning key life lessons about how to be mentally strong, how to face adversity and deal with differing opinions and other things like that. So this constant desire from people to try to protect the weak or the innocent doesn't really do them any favors in the long run, because it never equips them with the tools needed to be able to handle life on their own. I mean, that's a problem a lot of young adults have, is if they were coddled by their parents and by the time they finally leave the nest, they're screwed because they aren't equipped to handle the different adversities that life will throw their way. It's a big issue. So as much as possible, strive to be mentally strong. And in this video, I'll be sharing with you some tips that will hopefully help you do just that, because hopefully just from this little intro, you can see why this is important. So one of the main things you want to do if you desire being mentally strong is just start doing difficult things that scare you, things that are challenging, because they are going to teach you a lot about mental strength and toughness, just having the grit needed to do things that you aren't quite sure you're able to do. And as much as possible when doing these things, try to figure them out on your own. But of course, if you do hit a roadblock, then feel free to ask other people for help. You don't need to get through life on your own. But the more that you try to be self-reliant, it'll just help you be even more mentally tough. But like I said, don't attempt to get through things alone if you're unable to figure them out. Just be willing to ask for help if you actually need it. So that's one of the main things. But another thing is to work on your relationship with your emotions. I know that sounds weird, relationship to emotions. What I more so mean is a lot of people, they tend to deal with their emotions in unhealthy ways. They choose to resort to vices, drinking, smoking, watching porn, doing other unhealthy things to avoid their emotions. It's not even dealing with their emotions, really. It's just escapism, ignoring them, avoiding them. That's not good. Over time, that teaches you to be mentally weak, to not know how to handle those strong emotions that we're all going to get from time to time. And also, if you're constantly trying to avoid your emotions, it makes you easier to manipulate by master manipulators like narcissists, because if you're never taking the time to work on being able to control your reaction to your emotions, then you're likely going to act on them as soon as you feel them. And that makes you an easy target for anyone who knows enough about human psychology to have an idea of how to manipulate someone based on their emotions. So practice having healthy emotional regulation. And all that really means is giving yourself the courage to feel your emotions, but choose not to act on them. It requires a lot of courage, because most people have tricked themselves into believing that their emotions are bad, but they're not. They're normal. I mean, we can't stop ourselves from feeling our emotions, right? Like, you can't stop your emotions from arising within you. Like, if something makes you happy, try to stop yourself from feeling happy in that moment. Good luck. If something makes you feel sad, try to stop yourself from feeling sad. You can't do it. What you can do is control how you act on your emotions, or whether or not you even choose to act on them. So this is what you want to do. You want to get good at being able to delay acting on your emotions, in some cases almost indefinitely. And that's where true mastery and power comes from. That's true strength. Being able to feel an emotion in the moment, to not try to suppress or ignore it, but also choosing not to act on it. Someone can make you angry, and you can just stand there, feel that anger, and choose not to yell at them or put your fists up or anything. You can just feel angry at them and know that they made you mad, but not act on it. This is what I'm talking about. I don't want you to get I don't want someone to make you angry and you to then immediately shove that anger down. That's not healthy either, because that's not teaching you to actually release them. Like, if you constantly avoid your emotions or try to ignore or suppress them, they don't go away. Shoving them down is just like burying a bone. Over time, with weathering, that bone comes right back to the surface. It doesn't disappear. Don't do that with your emotions either. You want to be able to feel them so they can be released. They're like energy, pretty much. So you need that energy to be used up, and then it's gone. So if someone makes you angry, feel that anger, but choose not to act on it, and then that anger will go away. It'll get released, and you won't have hurt the relationship with whoever that person is. Or if they're not a friend of yours or a significant other, then at least you're not going to end up in jail by trying to fight them or something. So this is what it's all about: feeling your emotions but choosing not to act on them. That alone will make you incredibly mentally strong for life, because a lot of mental strength truly is just being able to control our emotions better. And like I said, all that means is choosing not to act on them. You obviously can't control your emotions, meaning stopping them from arising within your body. Like, nobody can do that. So it's all about just choosing not to act on them. But really, those two things are basically all you really need to be mentally strong. But I can throw in another third little fun bonus tip here, which is actively seek out differing opinions, different viewpoints. This is a tough one because a lot of people don't want to do this, because then they'll experience cognitive dissonance, which is basically where your mind is now holding two conflicting viewpoints together, and it creates like anxiety, and you want to get rid of that anxiety right away, which usually means just immediately believing your prior held beliefs and getting rid of the one that goes against what you believe. But if you train yourself to be able to look at differing viewpoints and to try to understand where people are coming from, it'll make you more tough. Because most people, a great example here is politics. I don't normally like to talk about politics, but it's a good one here. Most people, if they're in America, they're going to be either Democrat or Republican. And people don't really like to try to understand the opposing viewpoint. Democrats don't like to understand Republicans, and Republicans don't like to understand Democrats. And that's a problem. It leads to a lot of mental weakness, because then these people can't understand the opposing side. They don't even want to hear anything about the opposing side. They just immediately label them as being bad or evil or wrong, and it creates issues. So instead, try to understand other people and where they're coming from. Even if they're bad people, you don't need to, it doesn't make them good to understand where they're coming from, right? It just gives you an understanding of human psychology and behavior, and that will just help you be more mentally tough, and it'll help you understand people's motivations so that you can be better equipped to deal with people who believe those things. So if you're a Democrat and you don't like Republicans, try to understand Republicans, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to agree with them, especially, there are some people who believe really messed up things on both sides, both Democrats and Republicans. So yeah, you don't need to agree with everything. It's just important to get that differing opinion on everything: politics, religion, whatever other good examples are out there. I guess diet's another good one now, because if people are carnivore or vegans, they're going to butt heads like crazy. So yeah, it's just helpful to understand where people are coming from. That helicopter view, that perspective it gives you, will also give you mental strength to deal with people who think differently than you. Because that is a thing that more people need nowadays. People are so mentally weak, they don't even want to understand other people's opinions, and it creates so many issues in society. We're seeing a lot of this play out right now. All these mentally weak people are voting in stupid ways that over time are going to make us lose a lot of freedoms and whatnot, and it's not good. And also they're voting in weak leaders. So yeah, we're seeing this like a worldwide phenomenon right now, and it's probably just all stemming from people not learning how to be mentally strong at a young age, which I won't get into conspiracy theories, but if you're at the top, you do have to wonder if there's a bit of an incentive for you to try to purposely make people mentally weak as they're being raised, right? It helps you stay in power. But yeah, I won't get into that, but it's no good. So as much as possible, strive to be mentally strong yourself. We can't control other people out there. I can't help everyone, neither can you, but we can at least do our part by striving to be mentally strong ourselves and using the knowledge that we have to try to help the people we care about as well. Because nothing bad ever happens from being mentally strong. It's probably one of the most useful things in life to help you get through it. It just helps you deal with everything life can throw your way, helps you deal with adversity in general, and that's huge because you never know what life is going to have for you when you turn the next corner. So choose to be mentally strong. But anyway, I'm going to get off my soapbox. That's all I have for you guys in this video. I truly hope you enjoyed this one, and if you like content like this, be sure to subscribe for more. Otherwise, like the video. That's the easiest way you can help me out and boost that algorithm. And let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know if you have other tips for people becoming mentally strong, or just let me know what you think of this subject, or how you think of the consequences, the trends you've been seeing in societies, because yeah, it's kind of interesting. I mean, the future is a bit, it's looking a bit weird for all of us, but hopefully things get better over time, but who knows? We'll see. Usually things get worse before they get better, but yeah, we'll see where things end up. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Arrivederci.